And good play.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. We are so excited to talk to you about our February launch of Vasion Automate. My name is Sue Caniglia. I'm a director here of product at Vasion, and I'm joined with Eric Judd. He's a senior marketing manager. Today, we're going to introduce you to Vasion Automate. Then Eric will perform a demo. We'll do a Q&A session, and we'll be joined by our product manager, Justin Arnold, who's joining us. And we'll be happy to answer any questions. So we're just excited to introduce you to the newest capabilities that you're going to soon have access to. What is Vasion Automate? Well, here at Vasion, we want to enable our customers to digitize and automate your everyday processes. And Vasion Automate combines print and digital processes to streamline systems and boost efficiency. And we do this with products like Capture. So if you think about simplified scanning, and forms, think about e-forms like web forms or PDF forms, through signature and workflow capabilities, as well as content management and the print solutions you have today that drive you some value and make your job easier. So what does that look like? What's new? What's it going to be like when you come in and log in at our launch date in February? Well, first of all, let me assure you that your experience as an IT admin in the admin console will be the same. Nothing is changing, although you will have a navigation rail along the left side that will introduce you to all these new capabilities and products. Everything within the admin console stays the same, so you have access to that. And there's no change to your end users at all. So this should be an easy transition for you. So what kind of problems are we solving? You're probably used to having lots of systems that help you through your workflow processes. They may be siloed and disconnected, and workflows can become tedious and actually waste time as you're trying to learn all these applications. But it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to take a long time. So you're looking for efficiency. You're looking for ease of use. Those poorly connected systems fail to create that seamless experience that you get in one overall application. And as you're trying to learn all these different applications and navigate them, confusion grows and costs begin to creep up as well. All of this results in wasted time and money. 30 hours a month per employee are lost due to lack of automation. And 70% of businesses believe that automation is necessary to have those really effective teams. 90% of employees are burdened with those repetitive and manual tasks. So why not make it easier by using Vasion Automate? Vasion connects your company, boosting efficiency by reducing time spent on those repetitive and manual tasks. It's designed to be easy to use. It's bridging the print and digital worlds, and it's driving savings for you. We're starting out by focusing on you, the IT admin. And the idea is that we want to help you through your processes that you do every day. Things like onboarding and offboarding users, and filling out and completing those hardware and software requests, as well as those customer support and employee tickets. So starting with you and helping you become evangelists that you can spread the use of this application throughout your company. So with Vasion Automate, it's all going to start through opting in. So when you receive this modal, it'll ask you if you want to opt in to get our refreshed login experience. Once you choose to opt in, it'll log you off. And the next time you log in, you'll have the new login page. And this is a unified login page that allows you access to both the Vasion Automate product as well as print. And as I mentioned before, print is now within Vasion Automate. And then once you log in, you'll have this new experience with that left navigation to access those new capabilities. We've rebranded Printer Logic as Vasion Print, so you'll see some updated look and feel in the header of the name that you're used to. That's all it takes, and then you'll have access to these new products. We're going to have Eric go ahead and walk us through a quick demo so you can see what capabilities you'll have access to.
Oh. Okay, thank you so much, Sue, for walking us through that. I'm Eric Judd. I work in product marketing here at Vasion, and I'm going to walk through a quick demo of Vasion Automate so you can see for yourself what your new experience can be like and what Vasion Automate has to offer in addition to your existing capabilities with Printer Logic. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Great. Okay, what you are seeing here is what you should be quite familiar with your Printer Logic console. You log in, everything in Vasion Automate that has to do with print, formerly known as Printer Logic, remains the same. Access to the printers here, it should all be quite familiar. Nothing here on this front has changed. What we do want to look at, though, is some additional capabilities, functionality that allow you to give you the opportunity to gather data, automate your work. We'll start by looking at forms here on this purple navigation on the side, and then we'll go into workflow and see how we can move some of the data and some of those forms through a business process. So if I come in here to forms, I click on that. And on this screen, we will see a number of form templates that I've created previously. Some are still in draft form. Others have already been published and are ready to be used in a workflow. Before we look at a final draft of a form, I want to show you a few things real quick. If I come up here to the top right and look at this plus new form button, I can click on that and there's two options. First is a PDF, the other is a web form. With a PDF form, I'm able to upload a PDF document and have that be a form that's moved through a business workflow or process. I can add fields on top of that PDF form to be filled out, such as name, a whole array of fields, and we'll look at those in just a moment. Signature, date, and so forth, so that a PDF can be distributed and you can have an individual enter data right on top of it. In addition to PDF, there's web forms. And those web forms allow us an opportunity with very easy to use DIY capabilities to drag and drop and to create a form from scratch. But let's look at that real quick and see what that looks like, that process of building a form from scratch. I have this one template here, new hire onboarding form. It's still in draft status. Let's open it up and add a few components to it just so you can see how easy it is to build a form. This took me about 5 minutes. I added a logo at the top. I added some text describing what the form is for. Please enter the information the IT team will need to start onboarding. I dragged and dropped a few components over, first and last name. I added a pick list, real easy. But one thing I haven't done yet, I need a signature component down at the bottom. So over here on the left, we have this signature component. I'm going to click, drag it over, let go. There we go. Okay. So I have this signature component. It's as easy as that. If I wanted to add other things, let's say I needed a phone number, I could come move that right here and so forth. Really easy. What does the signature component look like? Click on that. I come into the preview mode. When I click on the signature component, there's 3 ways I can add a signature. I can either upload an image of my signature. I can draw it just like this, or I can go ahead and just type my signature just like that. Really easy to add components and get a form going very quickly and have it look really good. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that preview and exit out of this draft form and show you a completed form that we have to work with. Don't save. This form here, I have my new hire onboarding form, this fourth one down from the bottom. This is one that we are going to move into a workflow so that you can see how we will gather information and move it from one individual to another. This is the form we'll be using. It's an intake form for gathering the right information for a new hire. And this is the preview of it. Once we're ready to utilize a form, we make sure it's published. And then we come over to this workflow button right here. I'm going to click on that, and you'll see a number of workflow templates that have already been created. All of these workflow templates have been published, but you can see as we initiate and run workflows, we'll see those that are currently being run, what step they're in, and then we're also able to access workflows that have been completed. Staying here with templates. Before we jump into an actual workflow, I'm just going to briefly introduce how we create one. I come up here to the new workflow button, similar type of a process to what we saw with forms. Click on that, and I'm going to go create a business process. Come in here. We had created that form previously, that new hire form. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that form. That's the new hire onboarding form right here. Who would I like to assign this form to? So when we start the business process, we want an email to be sent to an individual asking them to fill out the form. In this instance, we can either select an external user or someone internally. Abby, my partner here at Vasion, she has the right information needed to fill out this form for a new hire. So I'm going to search for her. There she is right there. It auto-populates. I'm going to add her and save. Now, when we run this workflow, that form will be delivered in an email to Abby, and we'll see that process in real time in just a moment. I can continue to add additional steps to a workflow just by clicking this Add Steps button. I can add additional forms that need to be filled out so that once Abby completes her step in the workflow, another email will be delivered to the next person in each step to continue the business process. Previously, we looked at how to add a form. I'm going to go ahead. We can also add an approval step where we can assign that to an individual like Justin Arnold. We'll have this step go to him. What do we want him to approve? This first step, this number one, that's referencing the first step. What do we want? We need a message to be included in the delivery of this information. Justin, please approve this information, so forth. So when I hit save, that represents a workflow of how we can gather the right information, have it be viewed by an approver, and so forth. And we can add additional steps according to the business process that we need to execute on. I'm going to exit out of this draft now that we've seen how to create a workflow. Don't save. And we're going to go ahead and run a workflow that we have already. I had created this customer demo. I'm going to click on it. When I click right here, we have this quick preview of what the workflow is going to do. We have our new hire onboarding form. We need to gather some information about a new hire that's going to start at a future date. That form will be delivered to Eric Judd's inbox. After it's filled out, Eric Judd will receive an email to approve it. For the sake of this demo, I've just included myself on each of these forms so that we can utilize the same inbox. But I could have that approval go to someone, perhaps someone in finance or to a leader of a department. The step 2 is the approval. Step 3 will go to the new hire, where maybe they need to add some additional information of what their preferences are. And then step 4, maybe that goes to someone who in IT who will be allocating software licenses, making sure the hardware is there, etc. So you can see how a really robust workflow can be developed right here, and we can streamline processes. So I'm going to come in, and if I start a workflow, come in here, start workflow. I click on that button. And what happens when I click that button, come over to my email and I get this action required. Eric Judd has requested you to fill out new hire onboarding form. Okay, interesting. I look at it, I see this purple button, go to the form. Click on that. And I see this form that we've created. I'm gonna go, who is our new hire? We have Channon. Channon needs to be onboarded. Where is he at? Channon voice. Channon is in our product org. It's laptop, MacBook Air. Yep. Does he need an Apple monitor? Absolutely. February 1st. That's his start date. Cool. I'm going to submit that information. I'm going to change this to Abby Smith. Okay. So I submit that information. We're good to go. An email confirmation is sent to the individual who just filled out the form. Now to the next step of the individual in the workflow, they will get an email asking them to approve what just got submitted. Eric Judd sent you an item to review. I'm going to go to the approval. Okay. Click on that. And in this step of the workflow, we'll see the form that I had just filled out, Abby Smith, start date February 1st. I'm looking at this, hello IT leader, please review and then approve or reject these onboarding details. It looks good to me. We're ready to onboard this individual. I approve by clicking that button in the top right, and we go on to the third step in the workflow. So there's a demonstration of how we can take a process that may be acting as a bottleneck, may require a lot of communication, some silos, and we can build together a process where we're all able to know exactly what to do at the right time. Okay, so now that I've shown you a little bit about how Vasion Automate works and the value provided in addition to your existing printer logic instance, I'm going to jump over to a slide, share a few additional details about Vasion Automate. Give me just 1 minute to share my screen again. Okay. Shannon, can you give me a thumbs up that you're seeing this what will be available screen? Is that okay? Awesome. We're all on the same page. So you may be asking, what will be available with Vasion Automate? It's important to remember that everything that you had previously with printer logic is still available. What it does include is 5 Automate creators. So these are creator users that are unique to Automate, in addition to all the creators and admins you had previously with printer logic. Nothing with that changes except for the addition of 5 creators specific to Automate. You also have 2,500 completed workflows. We define a completed workflow as when you start a workflow process to when it carries through all the way to the end. That's how we count a completed workflow. It's not unique templates built or something like that. It's the number of runs that occur for the cumulative number of workflows that you have. And then it also includes up to 25 print queues. That's the core licensing everybody gets no matter what. In addition to those 25 print queues, it's the same licensing and of print queues and printer logic that you had previously. So for a new prospect, they would just get 25 print queues and then need to purchase them in addition to what they already have. If you already have Printer Logic, nothing changes with your existing licensing. It stays the same. And then we see 5 gray boxes here: print, forms, signature, workflow, and admin. Just like what we saw in the demo that had been completed previously. In addition to what comes with Vasion Automate Core, we also have the opportunity for end customers to purchase additional creators and then purchase additional sets of 10,000 workflows. Something you should already be familiar with is with the print bundles. Just as with the pricing and packaging done earlier, there's an opportunity to purchase advanced security, output management, and cost management bundles. And more details will be provided on that in the future. But as you can see, everything with the licensing of your Printer Logic instance, it is pretty much the same as before. We're just providing opportunity to receive 5 additional Automate creators and 2,500 completed workflows. Okay. I'm going to pause right there and before we move over to Shannon, who will walk through the MSP portal, want to make sure I covered everything. Okay. So to confirm and just to reiterate what Sue had spoke to previously, to get Vasion Automate, 2 things that customers will need to do. First off, opt in to the new login experience. And then second, after they opt in, they'll need to agree to a master service agreement, an MSA. Purchasing and licensing of print queues stays the same, just as before. I want to make sure that's understood and heard loud and clear. And then for test environments or an additional demo beyond this, reach out to your CAM, or if you're a direct customer, a CSM, and they can walk you through an additional demo and show you what the Vasion Automate experience looks like in a deeper dive than this. We still won't launch until early February, but we just want to provide this opportunity now to get a clear sense of what's coming up. Shannon, if I can move on to you now, if you want to walk through the MSP portal and what that experience is like, I'll turn the time over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Eric. My name is Shannon Voice. I'm the product manager for the MSP portal, and I'm excited to show you what we've got today. So I know that we have a number of different people in the audience, but for those of you that are MSPs, you'll be very familiar with the MSP portal here. So when you log into the MSP portal, nothing is going to change. Everything is going to remain the same, the tree on the left and the ability to log in to your customer's instance. Now, when you log in, as we showed previously, it will still take you to what has formerly been known as Printer Logic. It's now known as Vasion Print. We have the updated side rail here with the new products, but print is still here, and you still have your tree and all of the same tools and services and everything that you've been used to. So nothing from the functionality standpoint is changing, as Eric mentioned earlier. Now, because you're coming from the MSP portal, when going to one of the new products, it's going to ask you to authenticate into the new system. Okay. So the first time you do this, you'll be prompted to create a username and password. And this will give you access to the new suite of Automate products. So now you can access the forms, signatures, workflows, and then you will also have the admin section where you can add accounts and authentication methods. And of course, once you've authenticated in, you will obviously still have access to your Vasion Print section. So a lot of exciting new things for you as MSPs, a whole new suite of products that your customers can use and will have access to. And afterwards, we'll have a Q&A, and I'm happy to answer any questions in regards to how this is specific to MSPs.
Very good. Thank you so much, Shannon, for walking us through that. Greatly appreciated. Okay, we'll spend about the next 20 minutes of the webinar before we wrap up, answering any questions that you have. Hopefully, we can provide you an immediate answer. If not, we'll take note of it and make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Mark, question coming in. When will this be coming to non-MSP dealers? Shannon, is that something you can speak to?
So Automate will be available to everyone. Mark, that's a great question. I think we probably want to direct that to your specific account manager, or if we have somebody on the call, perhaps Ethan Jansen can speak to this. But yeah, essentially this will be available to everyone, if I'm understanding your question correctly.
Okay. Awesome. A few other questions we have. As someone who only knows printer logic, how long will we be forced to move over to this newer platform? What we're providing is an opportunity to opt in to a new login experience that will be for end customers. And then they'll also end customers will also need to review, sign a MSA. After that time, you'll then have the opportunity on February 6th to view this new Automate experience. Okay. Sue, do you want to add any information to that? Make sure I'm speaking to that accurately.
Yes, I do. Thank you, Eric. I also just wanted to state that at some point we will decide to move everyone over to the new navigation and the availability for all those products. And we just haven't determined that date. So as far as when people might be forced over, we're still working around that timeline.
Yeah, thanks, Sue.
So thanks, Chris, for that question.
Two more questions. Are the 2,500 workflows, is that for a lifetime, per month? What's the time period on that? We're counting that on an annualized basis. So each year we'll reset with an additional 2,500 workflows, and the same with the additional workflows available for purchase. Another question, is an improver or requester counted as a creator? The answer to that is no. Creators are those who are able to build forms and design workflows and run those things to send those out. The users are those who fill out the forms and participate in the workflow as an approver. You can assign that to anyone. External users, internal individuals at your company, people who've been assigned as a creator, that can be done to anyone, really a countless number of individuals. But it's just the creators of forms and workflows. Those are the 5 creators that come with the core Automate offering. The next question I have, do current users of Printer Logic get these additional functions at no charge, or does the Automate core incur a new charge? Great question. The Automate core comes with what you already have with Printer Logic. It comes at no additional charge. The way that you acquire print queues stays the same. If you need 100, 200, 500 print queues, whatever it is, there's the purchasing of print queues, that licensing does not change. What you do get is included, included with what you already have at no additional cost will be 5 Automate creators, 2,500 completed workflows, and then forms builder, workflow designer, signature tool, and the admin console there. Okay. Open questions. A few others coming in. Okay. Any plans to bring workflows or scan capture to the application install on the panel of MFPs? We do have future plans to build in scan capabilities. Stay tuned. We are working toward building an environment that bridges the print and digital world. And so a lot of the vision we want to communicate with this is, and something that will be a significant differentiator for Vasion in the marketplace, is the ability to move in between the print and digital worlds, and to do so with automations and automated business processes.
I might just add to that, Eric, too, and say that, Jeff, if you aren't familiar with the simplified scan capabilities that recently went to GA as well, they may be able to answer some of those questions that you're posing in your question about the scan capture and being able to send it to third-party storage destinations.
Yeah.
So you might just want to reach out to your account representative as well.
Question coming in from Brian. From the MSP perspective, when we set up the instance, we provide a new root account. When we are prompted for an account in the new login process, can we use the same account, or does that need to be a new user account? What permissions are applied to that user account on creation?
Eric, I can talk to this one briefly if you'd like.
Sure, thanks.
Yeah, so the new unified login experience will work with all of the existing admin users. So there will be no need to create a new user. And then when that user is authenticated, it has permissions to Vasion Automate. And from Vasion Automate, roles can be assigned to additional users.
Great, thanks, Justin. Another question coming in, can we track the quantity of used workflows throughout the year so we know how many we have left? That's something we'll be monitoring. And as you approach a large amount of workflows used, we will be proactive in reaching out to you. The ability to have reporting so you can see where we're at is something that we are looking to build into the product in the near future. But stay tuned as that type of capability comes forward. But rest assured, we'll be reaching out proactively if we see a usage that an additional subsequent conversation needs to be had. Okay, another question. Can you repeat or clarify what changes in licensing model this new feature update impacts MSP reselling printer logic? Does Vasion Automate Core apply per MSP or per sub customer?
I can speak to that one a little bit, or Ethan, if you're available, if you'd like to speak to that one. But essentially, each instance will receive this same grouping of licenses. So the 5 creators and the 2,500 workflows. So as an MSP, each instance that you create, they will see the Vasion Automate products, and they will have access to those licenses. Ethan, is there anything else that you'd like to add to
one
that
other
one?
thing I'd like to add to that is that the MSP pricing is going to be slightly different from the reseller pricing that was shown earlier. We'll announce that at a later date. We're still finalizing some of those details and waiting on some product changes as well. But there's more to come for specifically how that will be licensed in your MSP portal.
Great. Another question, are testing workflows counted in the 2,500? The short and easy answer, no. Or reading the question further, or only once the workflow is moved to production, or are all workflow executions counted even during testing? To be able to test or run a workflow, it needs to be published live. Regarding the 2,500 workflows, that's a great conversation to have with your sales representative. If you feel like there needs to be, a little bit of flexibility because of a mass amount of texting, we understand, and we understand that based on your ability to monitor the workflows used at this short period of time, there'll be some flexibility there for sure. But a good conversation to have with your CSM as you set up your instance and understand more fully the exact way that you want to use Automate and then begin to use it. Have that conversation with your CSM and create a plan to go forward. And it's something we can work with. Another question. Can you tell us more about content management, and can you store and search for documents? Great question. As documents are uploaded and as data is collected from workflows, we're able to view them in the completed workflow portion of Vasion Automate. And they're stored securely and are encrypted and at rest encrypted there in that portion of Vasion Automate, stored on AWS or Azure, depending on location. And searchable, yes, we can search for the workflow created there. As time goes on, more capabilities of that content management portion of Automate will be built out. But if anyone on the product side wants to add to or verify anything that I've said.
I think you've covered that pretty well. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think we've got time for maybe 3 or 4 more questions. We'll see. Next one, will there be detailed videos, comprehensive how-to guides available to empower users and customers on setting up these workflows and to provide them with the confidence needed to utilize the software? Absolutely, yes. Our product managers and our documentation team and numerous individuals here have put together awesome documentation explaining what to do, how it works. We have how-to videos and guides that will be sent out. And so with some very short training and some quick how-tos and recorded demos, other things like this, it'll be really easy to learn how to use Automate. One of the big factors that we considered when building this tool is that we wanted anyone, anywhere to be able to get in and be in lead digital transformation at their organization and not have to learn a robust or difficult tool. It was designed with DIY drag and drop capabilities, and we've provided all of the resources necessary for anyone to be able to learn to do that as a creator. Next question from Tom. Will the recording of this meeting be emailed out? I was a little bit late. Absolutely, Tom. We'll have a recording of this sent out to all attendees. And if you don't see it come through to your email for some reason, contact your CSM or your CAM. And here at Vasion, they'll have access to a recording that they can forward to you. Nathan has a question. If someone decides they don't want to opt in right now, will they still have a chance to opt in each time they log in as they learn more about Vasion Automate? Absolutely. That's the way we set it up. We've provided an opportunity to you so that, if you need a few conversations, that's going to take a few weeks. You need to learn more about this, understand exactly how it may affect your instance or customers you work with. We're facilitating that, providing you the time to review, understand things exactly. Reach out to your CSM or your CAM for those conversations so you can get fully informed and fully prepared to move forward with Automate. Now a question from Tom. Is the new unified login page up and running already for MSPs? How do we access?
I can talk to this if you'd like, Eric.
Yes. Thanks, Justin.
Yep, no problem. So yeah, the unified login is being rolled out now. We're doing it in a phased approach across our entire portfolio of instances. So when your instance is provided the option to opt in when you log into the admin console, pending that you're an administrator user in PrinterLogic, you'll see that modal presenting you with the option to opt in. And then you can either opt in at that time or, as we've discussed, hit not now and be reminded later. And if you're a little antsy and you haven't seen the modal yet, reach out and we will definitely get your name on the list to get it to you sooner.
Thank you, Justin. Much appreciated. Maybe perhaps another question for somebody in product, but can we create multi-language forms? Right now, to my understanding, the product is not available in multi-languages. However, language from other than English, text other than English can be entered into a form. Is there any clarification we can add from somebody in product?
Yeah, I will also say that multi-language, that just the multi-language and localization is on our product roadmap. And that is something that we're looking into soon. So stay tuned.
I would add one thing as well, Sue. It's been built with that intentionally already. So the support from a technology standpoint is there. So it definitely will be coming.
Great. Question here from Chris. We may want to do a bulk communication to our clients. Will you have any sales assets available for distribution? Great question, Chris. Previously in our WorkRamp Academy, we provided a number of trainings to partners on Automate. I'd highly encourage you to check those out. We also just provided a number of sales and marketing assets. And so check that out in WorkRamp Academy that just barely went out. I also highly encourage you to reach out to your CAM and review those assets so that you can all be on the same page. You understand exactly what you'll need to go out and talk to your clients and be confident in what you share and confident in the materials that are shared with them. Okay. That is coming down to the bottom of the list of open questions in the Q&A. We can stay on for another minute or two if other questions come in, but it's been a pleasure connecting with you all today. Thanks much for jumping on. Again, this recording, it'll be sent out to all registered attendees. If you don't receive it, connect with your CAM or your CSM. We can share it with you. And I'd also encourage you start a conversation with your CAM so that you can be on the same page. You understand very clearly what the path forward is. And that you're ready to communicate to your clients clearly, get them on the same page. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions come in. I hope that means we did our job successfully, but it's been great. If you have any other questions, reach out to your CAM and we'll go from there.
Great. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you.